the first buyer. It'll be out in about less than 2 weeks, probably. Pretty exciting, right?
You ready for some questions?
Anybody want to buy one? Okay, let's go.
First, we'd love to get your reaction, sir, to what's going on in the financial markets today.
Well, I mean, it's to be expected. This is a patient that was very sick. We really inherited a terrible economy, as you know, with a lot of problems, including loss of manufacturing and plants closed up all over the country. You know, we've lost 90,000 plants since NAFTA, if you think of that. 90,000, it's not even believable. And about 6 million jobs. And so it was a sick patient. It went through an operation on Liberation Day. And it's going to be a booming country, a very booming country. It's going to be amazing, actually. And we see it because we have trillions of dollars committed to come in, trillions.
Sir, can I ask you, when you say that it was an operation and the patient's healthy now, does that mean you see us as kind of towards the high water mark in terms of how high?
Sure. The operation's over, and now we let it settle in. You see the plants are starting to construction already. We have many plants. Indiana, massive auto plant, Honda, and we have so many plants, and they'll be under construction. And as they start to build, you're going to see a lot of construction jobs, and you're going to see a lot of jobs when they open.
Does that mean chips and pharma tariffs are not on the table?
They're starting very soon. The chips are starting very soon. The pharma is going to be starting to come in, I think, at a level that you haven't really seen before. We are looking at pharma right now, pharmaceuticals as a separate category. And we'll be announcing that sometime in the near future, not too distant future. That's under review right now.
Are you negotiating with partners currently?
What we have is we have a set of tariffs based on what they've been charging us. That's reciprocal. And those tariffs have come in, and every country's called us. That's the beauty of what we do. We put ourselves in the driver's seat. If we would have asked some of these countries, most of these countries, to do us a favor, they would have said no. Now they'll do anything for us. But we have tariffs, they've been set, and it's going to make our country very rich.
But are you open to deals with these countries if they're calling you?
Well, it depends. If somebody said that we're going to give you something that's so phenomenal, as long as they're giving us something that's good. For instance, with TikTok as an example, we have a situation with TikTok where China will probably say, we'll approve a deal, but will you do something on the tariff? The tariffs give us great power to negotiate. Always have. I've used them very well in the first administration, as you saw, but now we're taking it to a whole new level because it's a worldwide situation. And it's very exciting to see. And what it's done is driven a lot of great companies to our country, and you're going to see construction starting all over. I already got a couple of calls from Lee Zeldin from Environmental. He's got some big plans to approve. Like really big plans.
How long will it take to get American manufacturing, to where you would like to see it?
Well, let's say it's a 2-year process. You know, they start a plant, and they're big plants. We're giving them approval to also, in many cases, to build the electric facility with it. So you have electric generation and the plant, and they're big plants. Now, the good news is a lot of money for them, and they can build them fast, but they're still very big plants. So I'd always say it would take a year and a half to 2 years.
Mr. President, I'm curious.
They've already started, so
Mr. President.
Welcome back. Today, April 3rd, 2025, the US stock market experienced a significant downturn following President Donald Trump's announcement of sweeping new tariffs. The Dow Jones Industrial Average plunged nearly 1,700 points, marking its worst day since 2020. The S&P 500 and Nasdaq Composite Index also saw substantial declines, dropping 4.8% for the S&P 500 and 6% for Nasdaq Composite. So it was basically a bloodbath in Wall Street. These market reactions come in response to President Trump's declaration of a 10% tariff on all imports coming to the United States beginning April 5th, with high reciprocal tariffs targeting countries with significant trade deficits with the US, including China, the European Union, and Japan. For instance, Chinese imports will face a total tariff of 34% starting April 9th. You know what this means? This means we'll see more market volatility and upheaval in the next couple of days. And also what this means is that, as many industry experts have said and economists, that a tariff is simply a tax. It just means that someone has to pay for that. And who pays for that? We'll see at the end of the day. If all these, the tech services or the electronic companies or finance or consumables will increase the prices, but economists warn that these tariffs could lead to increased consumer prices, with estimates suggesting an average annual cost increase of nearly $4,000 per every American household. Lower and middle income families are expected to disproportionately be affected. Internationally, reactions have been swift. Canada announced countermeasures, including a 25% tariff on US cars. The EU and other nations are also considering retaliatory actions, raising fears of a global trade war. In addition, companies or automakers such as Mercedes-Benz is even considering pulling all entry-level vehicles from the US market, which means no A classes and no C classes. It's so early to tell what's going to happen, but this is actually very, very devastating news out of Wall Street. And as you can see here, the heat map is just all red. All tech services are down. We're talking Microsoft, Google, Meta, with Meta having the largest drop, almost 9%. Apple is down almost 10%. Nvidia has been down for weeks. Now it's almost down 7% today, 7.81%. Which means that now you can buy a single Nvidia share for about $100. It's about 101 as of the last time I checked this. If we go to, let's go to Google Finance, and we're just going to look at Nvidia. You'll see now Nvidia is down to $100.8, which is down almost 8%. In the last month, Nvidia is down basically 10%. It's been fluctuating up and down. But if you go to the finance stocks are also taking a big hit. Berkshire Hathaway is down 1.4%. JP & Co. is down almost 7%. MasterCard 3%. Goldman Sachs is down 9%. So all these finance stocks are getting obliterated. Very few stocks are doing well. If we go back, we take a look at the health technology sector. Eli Lilly is down almost 4%. Let's expand this and take a look. AbbVie is down 1.7%. And we can see all red throughout. These are all the health technology companies. Let's jump into the electronic tech. We see Apple is leading the pack with the largest single day drop at 9.25%. Nvidia is down 7.81%. Qualcomm is down, what was that? About 10%, 9.5%. The markets are still reacting. We can see here on Yahoo Finance, you can see all the major indexes in the US are red. The S&P 500 is down 4.81%. The Dow Jones 30 is down 3.98%. Nasdaq is down 5.97%. Russell 2000 is down almost 7%. This is huge market loss. We're talking about over $3 trillion wiped out of the market. So you can see here from Wall Street Journal is that the Trump tariffs have caused over 3.1 trillion in value. That's basically taking the entire Nvidia stock and taking it to zero. So that's how bad this is. And most news agencies, we're talking AP News, CNBC, the article from AP News is that the Dow drops 1,600 points as US stocks sell-off continues. This is actually a COVID-like shock to the system. This is not good. However you look at it, however side of the political aisle you are on, I think the market is reacting very strongly. And what you expect to see is that if more countries enact countermeasures, it means we'll have less product coming to the country, or you have more dollars chasing less products, which means high prices. And if you look at this graph of the market drop worst since 2020, you can see we're pretty up there. S&P 500, this is the single worst day since COVID 2020. Same as the NASDAQ. A lot of Wall Street is reacting in shock and awe, basically. And if you want to see, we have the White House fact sheet, which says that President Donald J. Trump declares national emergency to increase competitive edge, protect our sovereignty, and strengthen our national and economic security. He goes on to say that, the president declared that foreign trade and economic practices have created a national emergency, and his order imposes responsive tariffs to strengthen the international economic position of the US and protect American workers. So the question to you is, what do you think happens next? Are we going to see a significant drop tomorrow morning? And if that is the case, it may be time to call your senator or your state representative, because I think another 5% drop is going to be monumental. You're talking about 401ks taking a massive hit.